With some more breaking news about these WNBA owners. They have put another $1 million proposal on the table. Guys, for this one here.
Check this out, guys. The Players Association immediately rejected the WNBA's offer of a significant pay increase. We are discussing wages that have been tripled, raising the average pay to $500,000 and the minimum to $225,000. The league anticipated a simple victory. Rather, they are looking at a potential lockout, and the reasons behind it are really strange. Post a comment now. Are the players correct to reject this offer, or should they accept it? This discussion is heating up, therefore I really want to know your position despite the significant income increase. The league is trembling over a recent action taken by the WNBA Players Association. They answered, "Nah, we're good." After seeing an offer that would essentially completely change player income overnight, we now face the possibility of a lockout, which could undo all of the league's gains from the previous season. Both sides have good points in this fascinating labor struggle, but the players are taking a huge risk that could backfire horribly. The league's proposal sounds fantastic on paper, so let's review it. A few seasons ago, the minimum wage was about $60,000, but the WNBA offered to raise it to that amount.
More on the WNBA-CBA negotiations. We have some new developments, and we welcome in our WNBA reporter, Alexa Philippou. Alexa, what more can you tell us about where things stand at the moment?
Yeah, George, well, there was a lot of meeting, a lot of back and forth over the last few weeks in hopes of trying to get some movement as yesterday's extension neared. And I can report that, we saw a report a few weeks ago on the league's proposals to the players. I actually have some updated numbers I'd like to share you all of where the league's latest proposal stands. Right now, they are offering a deal with a salary for players at the maximum with a $1 million guaranteed base, projected revenue sharing, pushing those total earnings for maximum players to more than $1.2 million, sources have told me just now. The average salary projection under this deal, the average salary across the board is projected to exceed $500,000. The minimum salary would be projected to exceed $225,000, sources tell me. And the salary cap would actually increase to $5 million a year, and sources say would be directly tied to revenue growth.
It's not a small bump. For gamers who used to struggle to make ends meet, that is wealth that may change their lives. The average salary would increase to $500,000, with opportunities to surpass $1.2 million. The maximum pay would reach $1 million. 5 years ago, these numbers would have been unimaginable through revenue sharing. To put things in perspective, Caitlin Clark's beginning salary was close to $76,000. They now suggested giving rookies $225,000. That represents a 300% increase in just a few years. A logical person looking at these numbers would think that players would sign and start celebrating right away, but that didn't happen. According to reports, the players group intends to turn down this offer, and their justifications raise fundamental questions about their understanding of basic economics. Uncertain compensation forecasts and concerns about league maths are reportedly contributing factors to the denial. This is when things start to get interesting. For 12 roster places, the WNBA suggested a $500,000 average with a $5 million team cap. These figures don't really add up to a $500,000 average. To do so, each team's cap would have to be $6 million. Therefore, it is appropriate for the players to report such error.
The WNBA came up with a 6-week extension until January the 6th for these negotiations. Now they got a 48-hour window to where the players could say, you know what, we want to cancel out this extension. We want to go on.
Reports state that the rejection is partially due to a legitimate concern that requires responses. According to the league, the cap will increase during the CBA period and be closely correlated with annual revenue increases. However, there is a problem with the lack of detailed income sharing statistics. Players want to know the precise amount of money they receive from the league. They want the formulas to be transparent. They don't want ambiguous promises that could be broken. That's reasonable. These details should be requested by any union negotiating a deal. However, This is the point at which public support for the Players Association begins to decline. The league will no longer provide housing for players, which is a significant problem with this concept. Housing is currently covered by teams during the season and postseason. Players are required to locate their own locations under this plan. Additionally, it seems that this is a deal breaker for the union. Allow me to clarify why that is ridiculous. You can definitely afford to rent an apartment for a few months if your minimum income is $25,000. In most WNBA cities, the average monthly rent for a decent flat is about $3,000 at most. It costs $18,000 to pay that even for 6 months. After taxes and rent, you still earn more than $200,000. Housing expenses are much less of a problem for players making the average of $500,000. This is not a significant hardship. Players having short-term contracts with teams would be an exception. Given that they switch teams and make significantly less money, such athletes may actually require housing assistance. That particular instance might be readily resolved by the league. However, asking rich owners to provide free lodging is tone-deaf for players on actual deals making 6 figures. For the players, these optics are terrible. The audience loses empathy when they witness athletes earning large sums of money and complaining about having to pay for their own apartments. Players appear entitled and disconnected from reality as a result. The majority of Americans would gladly take care of their own housing and would kill for a salary of $225,000. This complaint gives the impression that gamers don't realize how amazing it is. There are now more legitimate shortcomings in the offer. March Madness, which is dangerous for a number of reasons, may suffer if the league decides to extend the season and begin earlier. First off, the WNBA essentially uses March Madness as free advertising. Future celebrities create hype and brands there. Caitlin Clark rose to fame during March Madness before turning pro. At the moment, Paige Beakers is developing her profile there. It would be a mistake for them to enter that competition in order to begin the WNBA early. The league argues that they don't want to compete with college football and the NFL for viewers. When there is little competition, they aim to attract sports fans. That makes sense from a financial standpoint, but it seems foolish to forego the free promotion that March Madness offers. Instead than competing with March Madness, the WNBA should strive to enhance it. Squeezing out competitors like Unrivaled and Project B is another reason to start early. These leagues participate in the WNBA off-season, and by expanding their calendar, the WNBA hopes to eliminate that option. That is an entirely competitive approach. Destroy competitors before they become popular. However, it's not apparent if the trade-offs of changing the schedule to do that are worthwhile. We have to talk about the elephant in the room now. A lockout possibility. There might not be a WNBA season if players reject this and negotiations break down. Owners are enormously conceited billionaires who detest being turned down, particularly when they offer to treble their salary. Here, their owners never make money. For years, they have funded the league out of their own pockets. Players are now turning down what they consider to be a generous deal as they finally witness growth. Billionaires don't handle situations like these well. There are indications that some owners believe Commissioner Kathy Angelbert should go, but they won't take action right away to avoid appearing weak. That's ego speaking. That is the refusal of billionaires to give in. And things turn ugly fat when egos get involved in labor disputes. Right now, a lockout would be disastrous for the WNBA. It was the league's best year ever. Millions of new admirers were brought in by Vince, primarily to Caitlin Clark. Ratings increased. There is an increase in attendance. Sponsorships are coming in. There is growing momentum. That would be instantaneously destroyed by a lockout. Simply tuned-in casual admirers would move on. Sponsors would retreat. The infrastructure constructed in the previous year would collapse. And this is the harsh truth. Contrary to popular belief, players have very little power. Owners are able to wait. They have billions of dollars. They are not significantly impacted financially by missing a season. However, for athletes whose careers are already brief, missing a season equates to missing an entire year of earnings. The typical WNBA career is short. It is horrible to miss even one season. Additionally, players appear to believe that the league needs them more than they need it. That may have originally been the case, but Caitlin Clark altered the calculations. This growth is driven by her. Crowds and ratings skyrocketed because of her. What happens to the league if Caitlin chooses to concentrate on endorsements and playing abroad and the season is cancelled? Do casual admirers who come to see her keep away from her? Most likely not. This is not meant to disparage other players. A.A. Wilson is outstanding. Breanna Stewart is amazing. Although the league is full of talented players, none have had the same impact as Caitlin. None attracted as much attention from the general public as she did. The association must realize that their leverage is weaker than they believe, particularly if this continues and they run the risk of losing the star who is propelling the expansion. The complaints about maths are legitimate and need to be addressed. The league must provide an explanation if its $500,000 average is not supported by the cap. Details on revenue sharing must be transparent. It is important for players to understand what they are signing. While those are realistic requests, it is unreasonable to battle over housing when one is earning hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is unreasonable to turn down a deal that changes salaries just because you don't want to pay rent. Furthermore, it is unreasonable to run the danger of a lockout that destroys momentum over this. The association is engaging in risky behavior.